What's up?
JR, how do you account for like a Anthony Schwartz who's like obviously got world-class speed? How do you try to contain and defend someone like that?
Just gotta get people to the ball with that guy. You gotta contain him. Don't let him get in. When he's in open space, we gotta tackle him. We can't let him break loose.
And Hardman took one to the house yesterday up in Nashville. What going up against him the last couple of years, does that help the secondary when you face that kind of speed and compared to because you're going to see that same type of thing in Schwartz?
Yeah, most definitely. But they use him in a lot different ways than Miko is used. They give this guy the ball in space. They find ways to just get him the ball in space and put the ball in his hand so he can make plays.
JR, back in 2017, it was a pretty raucous environment when you guys went to Auburn. You came from the short side. What was it about that place that was just, I guess, an intimidation factor? Or what was it about that made it so difficult to play that day?
It's just really loud. They do a good job, and the crowd and their fans do a good job selling out. There's barely any red out there, so they do a great job bringing everyone to the stands.
You've been all over the SEC now, your couple of years. How would you rank that in terms of the loudest environment or just craziest?
It's definitely up there in my top 5,
JR, so with having Dan at coordinator, I mean, how is he able to emerge as a leader, I guess? He's kind of worked his way up from Memphis to linebacker coach to DC. Did you ever think he'd be able to have this success when he came on?
Most definitely. Coach Landon is very relatable to his guys. He's a player's coach. He can get the guys going. He does a lot of things outside the box to get guys motivated that I wouldn't even think about.
So in terms of getting guys motivated, what might some of those things be? What might be some things that he says?
Well, he finds like little stats, like last year we knew Missouri, they ran the ball on us like four touchdowns, 182 yards, like 5.2 yards a carry. And so, those are things that are engraved in my head while we're going through practice. And so we knew we had to come out there and stop the run. So doing things like that and showing us, basically like going to the doctor and showing us what we need to fix after each game.
What stands out to you about this defense? I mean, Coach was saying maybe it's not a lot of future first-round picks necessarily in this group. Like you see a lot of great defenses, but obviously y'all put up some pretty staggering numbers so far this year.
Well, just guys that go out there and do their job. It's not about everyone. It's not about one single person. It's about guys going out there doing their job and all guys working hard.
How do you able to get that team? Because that obviously doesn't happen all the time, and guys all sort of buying into the same system and helping each other, knowing that it all kind of works well.
Just in the off season, and I think the culture change, getting guys buying into the program, and we see that the farther you go, the better everyone does.
JR, haven't seen 4 shutouts in one season by a Georgia team since '76. Are you guys aware of that? How much do you talk about? How important is it to you to get that shutout?
Well, honestly, I didn't know until after the game. That was like since the 80s. When you go out there, you always want to shout at the team. And, you want to hold them to certain lower points. First thing you want to do is win the game and stop them. But when you see the shutouts in goal and you see it's in reach, you want to go out there and make sure it happens.
What kind of growth have you seen in Richard, really over the last couple of years and this season as well?
Well, just a lot more maturity in his game and studying film and becoming more of a student of the game. He's always had the talent, but he's more of a student now.
What does it mean to get Tyson Campbell back in that secondary, JR?
He's a great leader. He has definitely matured into a leader from last year to this year. He's made tremendous jumps. And getting him back provides a lot of speed and experience.
JR, Auburn Georgia games are almost always in mid-November with a lot on the line. This one's no different. But does it seem weird that next year this game's getting flipped? It's going to be moved like right smack dab in the middle of Georgia season?
I did not know that, but hopefully those guys can take care of that next year.
JR, I mean, for George Pickens, it's going to be a pretty emotional game for him with his commitment and how all that kind of went. He's an emotional guy. That's something he's going to have to kind of be careful of to make sure that he's kind of stays within himself in this particular context.
Yeah, we'll most definitely have George calm down and under reins during this game.
Is that something you guys will speak to him about, though, or you feel there's a need to?
Yeah, we'll have it figured out before we get there on Saturday, and he'll be okay.
Kirby was talking about the Auburn offense and how it's different than any other offense and what they do with the perimeter. Obviously, you're kind of the field general in the secondary. What do you see when you look at Auburn and just how clever of a coach is Malzahn from the schemes you've seen from him?
He gives you headaches, man. You gotta do everything right. You know, one mistake can lead to a big play, and we just gotta get in the film room, especially the younger guys that have not played against an offense like this. It's something that you don't see. It's something they don't play in the NFL. You don't see really people doing it anywhere in the league besides at Auburn.
What's your description of the atmosphere at Auburn?
Electrifying. I love playing there. It's amazing. You know, it's always fun. I know our offense might not like it because it's so loud, but I love going to enemy territory like that.
Seeing JR, all the youth around you, including on the coaching staff, are you a little bit amazed at what this defense has been able to do this season?
Well, not really, because it's something we practice, something we preach. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And that's something that we say around here. And just from the senior leadership that we have, and the guys that maybe are juniors that taking leadership roles, and leading these young guys to be able to play.
How about Jordan Davis and his growth as well? What have you seen there?
He's done a great job. You know, Big Jordan, he's played throughout games. He's learned that he can play with that weight, and he's pushed himself. And that's the main thing for him, is being consistent.
And his personality, what kind of spirit does he bring?
He's a big personality. I don't know if you guys have interviewed him yet, but he has a big, fun personality, big teddy bear, monster on the field.
Following up on Richard, everybody talks about how he's grown, his maturity, and everything, but he also seems like a guy who's got the personality, who comes up with some of those turnovers there, and he just has the personality to fit along with his performance. So, what type of thing stands out about his personality, and in terms of turnovers, do y'all have a competition to see who has more like on defense?
Well, you know, we both get upset at each other if we drop an interception or we miss a play. But we also play off of each other. We do a good job. Me and him have a really good chemistry back there. That's something we developed over the years. And just his personality, he's always happy. He always has a smile on his face. He's a really funny guy.
For Auburn, it kind of seems like what gets them going is that quick up-tempo kind of, quick hit run game and passes over the top. So when you're playing them, how important is it to get them kind of out of that rhythm that they like? How have you seen that affect them in the games?
You just got to win the first and second downs. You know, if you can win those, put them in third and long, that would be the key to this game.
Tyreek Stevenson saw a lot of snaps. He's a talented guy, did a lot in the spring. What role have you played in his development, and what do you think's ahead for Tyreek Stevenson?
The sky's the limit for that kid. You know, you're going to hear his name maybe next year or his junior year. He'll be up for some awards. He can play the ball really well, and just the main thing is just getting him in there and learning the plays and getting him in the right spot. Once he can learn what to do and have confidence in his game, the sky's the limit.
Jared, do you have any concerns about the fact that you're going up against three legitimate track guys?
No, not at all. We have, I think, 3 legitimate track guys on our team, too, for defense, so we'll be fine.
Kirby said that the defensive meetings are a little bit more fun, high energy, that it's just a joy to be around you guys this year as opposed to maybe some years past. I mean, what's been the biggest change? What's led to that?
Just Coach Lannon, he's younger, you know, a lot of youth. He's always bringing something new to the table each week. He finds something about a team that he wants to talk about, and he brings it, and I love it.
What was distinct about that environment 2 years ago when you went into Georgia?
It was just loud, you know. It was a loud environment, you know, SEC atmosphere, you know, rival opponent. I didn't know it was a big rivalry game until I went there, and I'm expecting the same thing.
You all have played, I don't know how many true road games you'd had up to that point in 2017. You feel like you all have played a lot of games since then, maybe a little bit more ready for that?
Yeah, well, a lot of the guys that were part of that team are still on this team, so they're battle tested and they're ready.
What have you seen or heard about Bo Nix so far from the tape or initial scouting reports?
He's a great player. He does a lot with his feet. You know, he plays tough for their team. He's going to lay it all on the line for them.
As a safety, how critical is eye discipline when you face an offense like this?
Very critical. You know, they do a lot of different plays, and if you take your eyes off your keys, it's an explosive play. So in the back end, you got to have very good eye discipline. Watch your keys. Don't let anything get behind you.
What is it about George Pickens that has impressed you? Just going against him in practice.
Oh, he just works. You know, that's one thing about him. He works really hard. You don't see a lot of young guys come in like that and work really hard. And he has talent out this round, man. It's crazy.
You see the demonstrative stuff he does. Does it ever go over the line? Do the veterans have to bring him in and say, all right, cool it a little bit?
I mean, I love the passion. You know, as long as you don't get us a flag or anything like that, have fun.
In practice, is it
And from what you can tell, is it's not across the line of taunting or anything. It's just kind of celebration.
He's having fun, being passionate. I have no problem with it.
JR, you had a monster game at Jordan Hare the last time you played there. How are you going to, as a leader, get these younger kids to rein it in and silence the noise kind of like you did?
I just tell them they're built for this, you know. You're going to be at Georgia. We already played in a big game on a big stage. We played in about 2 or 3 of them already. And so this is just another day, another walk in the park, and this is what we do here.
You said you like playing in enemy territory. What's going through your head when Jordan Hare is just noisy and crazy?
I love it. I mean, it gets me going. Any day we get to practice with crowd noise, it just turns up the practice just another notch.
Do you know anybody on that Auburn team?
No, I do not.
Did you say are you surprised at the numbers y'all put up defensively? Do you think this defense could be this dominating?
Most definitely. I'm not surprised at all. It's one of the things we preached in all season. And after we preached about a bunch of havoc, we would go into our goals and we focus on it each week. We focus on things that we messed up the week before or the years past, and we correct them.
How much do you think you guys practicing against your offense is going to prepare your offense for what they're going to see on Saturday? We got like one of the best defenses in the NCAA, so I think our offense goes against the best defense in NCAA. I think we go against the best offense in NCAA, so I think that's what makes us a really good team down the stretch.
Earlier you were talking about how Coach Lanning brings in, cool sayings and stuff like that to all the meetings. But I mean, what are some of the things that he does? Does he ever get gimmicky with you guys and like kind of bring in stuff like that?
Nah, not really. I mean, it's Coach Lanning. Some of the things he does I can't speak on, so just know he brings a lot of juice to the table.
You know, the SEC being on the line, you have a chance to take it this weekend. What does that factor into your game plan at all, and your thoughts at all? You're like, hey, we could win the SEC.
Not my game plan, but your thoughts. What's on the line. The things that you work for, and the only way you can reach those goals is that win this game right here.
Did you get a chance to watch the LSU Alabama game?
I did not.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Did you want to, or are you trying to avoid it?
I mean, I was doing so much other things, focusing on Mizzou, looking at film and everything before the game.
Still looking at film, that close to the game time.
Yeah, and I was probably asleep too, taking a nap. Had my iPad, fell asleep. So, I watch film before every game early in the morning, but around that time I had a little nap period and I was knocked out.
How much of that is just the veteran in you, JR? I mean, it seemed like it'd be easy as a player to get caught up in all the outside noise about LSU and Alabama, and you just sound like there's a time and a place for it.
Yeah, well, just being here for so long and seeing 8-5 and then coming to the national championship and then last year, if you don't take care of what's going on here, none of that matters.
You guys were ranked 6th in the playoff selection committee. A couple teams in the top 4 lost. Do you think this is a playoff-worthy team?
Most definitely it's a playoff-worthy team. I mean, it's a championship-worthy team.
Do you sense what this game might mean to Auburn players? There's a lot of Georgia guys on that roster. Meanwhile, you're from Texas. He's from South Carolina. Another guy came out today from Tennessee. You guys kind of recruit nationally, or what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, we get the best here at Georgia, so that's what they go get.
I guess guys that maybe grew up in Georgia, maybe wanted to play here, that are now in Auburn. Do you think they might feel a little bit more fire for this thing going against the home state school?
I just most definitely think everyone knows it's a rivalry game, and it feels like that. Like people like to call it, it's a championship atmosphere.
Thanks.